TechHub is not merely an organization. It's a dynamic platform for future developers. Here, conversations translate into actions and shape moral thinking. And TechHub, we bridge the breadth between technology and law, understanding or recognizing the symbiotic relationship between the two, law for tech and tech for law.
Just to lighten the mood before we get into the nitty-gritties of technology and law, I would now request you to pick up the aeroplane which is in front of you. It is a symbolic gesture that we are taking off. And the objective of this event is not only discussions. That's why there is a form in front of all of you. Fill it up. We would like to know how you want to get involved in the takeoff as an organization.
Our interaction, that is from the government, the executive branch of the government with the legal profession, has always been there with us throughout our life. No wonder that when we joined the IAS in Musuli Lal Shastri, we are given a mandatory course on law and which we have to pass. So that is it. But over the years, as the world has been transformed with IT, AI and emerging technologies, there can be no doubt that an intensive approach towards technical intervention into the law is required. Now, that the remark that he made is the point what I am making, is that he said, you see Mr. Sen, these days, these young legal boys with a tie and a coat will just bring their laptop and they will not respect my whole idea of getting references and everything. Point made, even he was getting envious of young graduates from law school or tech school who were almost organizing through startups and through technology interventions. And this is the path that today I believe in its 3 sessions is going to be discussed. The points of view of different people, including technologies, judiciary, and the litigant, will be discussed.
How will the AI affect the cost of litigation? And with the implementation of AI tools in various industries, will it open up new opportunities for a legal profession by way of creating new issues which the legal forebearers will have to look into?
We humans feel that goes into the system, and that generally assists others when they do it. So first thing is, I do not think right now we have reached a situation where AI comes into the picture. Today, I think we are still in a nascent stage where technological assistance can be only as good as the person feeding it. Now, can someone say that the person feeding is the finest guardian on this earth?
I was told that there are 2 broad categories. One is machine learning, the other is the logical rules and knowledge representation. Now, as far as I understand, FCC, AI are all going into the computer box. They are downloading them. That is the logical rules and knowledge part. The problem is with the machine learning thing, because that is where the AI starts developing itself. You put in the data, the computer starts developing its own thoughts. Now we must understand, law as a whole is not limited to one jurisdiction. But in a common law jurisdiction, which we follow, we generally improvise on the law. We look more into the system, we look into the society development. As a whole, we feel the human part. Because I am a litigating lawyer, so I will obviously restrict myself to saying judgments. But again, let us understand, non-litigation works also, where a lawyer is applying his mind, that is the due diligence. Applying his mind to what could happen in the future. Yes, the computer will permutate and combinations and go and try and find out for you. But it might be a dangerous position if you do not have someone overlooking that. Expedition, therefore, is definitely going to be there if AI supports the legal system. In the justice delivery system, only to the extent it is helpful. Because I personally believe, I don't know whether I'm saying this because we've been told that expedite justice. We have put up a clock also, as a matter of fact, I think, isn't it, in the high courts, showing how it is good. That itself is the most dangerous thing that could have happened in this society.
First, you have a problem for which you need to litigate. You carry that problem to the lawyer, then the second step starts. The lawyer prepares, takes it to court, there is a hearing, and the third step is the decision making. So let's look at AI in respect of these three steps individually. AI can be very effective. There's no problem at all. You can even do it on ChatGPT. You feed the basic facts, you train AI to give you the basic notice, and you do it 100 times over. AI will never make a mistake.
So on these fronts, as far as we are concerned, certainly technology, artificial intelligence, and others are of great assistance. But these are all support systems.
My next question, before we open up to the audience, to Mr. A and Mr. Chaudhary, just in 2 or 3 sentences, if you could explain or give a hypothetical scenario of the India story in AI that you would want to visualize in future.
If there can be cross-referencing at a very drop of a hat. Nowadays, as a matter of fact, if I may say so, I'm sure my erstwhile seniors would never know if there is a judgment which has come out today, the next day. It will take real time to then read the AIRs, the essays, okay, this is not background. AI can do that, and AI is doing it.
And previously, say 20 years ago, I would take 2 days to go back. I'll go back, look at the book. Today I stand in court, ask my junior to look it up on SCC online. That's using AI, and I respond in 1 second. So then that 2-day adjournment is saved. I'm sure AI will develop further, and it will be a 2-second response sometime.
My question to the best of the legal brains here, do you think the current legislation in India are commensurate with the AI?
That's also AI. We need protection from there. I suffered a few days back. I was buying some merchandise or some clothes for myself, which I rarely get on the open market. Whatever I was trying to get for myself. And I put in the money. When I go there, they say, no, we have not received the debt, the money is transacted. That's AI.
some people say that it can be a $1 billion market size tomorrow. And if it's a $1 billion market size, there is a lot of opportunity to get into this particular domain.
No one can deny that we are living in a technology-driven society. So educational system, educational institution can't go with traditional concept.
Technology is global. The law is local. Typically, that creates another kind of
how universities and institutes are actually upcoming their syllabus as well as their strategy and hand to hand with such latest developments in technology.
So the issue is very difficult, it's very challenging. Nobody wants to build up, nobody wants to risk it. But the issue is people have to understand that what we have done, what Sir has done, or his student me has done, that once we have educated in one system, we have earned for 30 years with that particular education.
Thank you so much.
I have received a gracious nod from our supporters, partners, and well-wishers from NASSCOM, and we are going to formulate it and see that the next generation of legal tech developers, next generation of technology developers in the area of law are equipped. They have immense space to play and go global right here from India.
Secondly, from every judgment, we can easily pick up, what the respondents, what the litigants, and what is the judgment at the end. So with these data, with minor, processing of the data, we have a treasure trove of information that the legal system cannot. And yes, coming to the previous thing, I believe that for each of this domain, we need to have our own set of data. We cannot rely on the generic solution. Like
one is the legal databases, which are the law as well as the statutory texts. The second category of data that come across, those are the case data, which are court data, dockets in the court, which are cases to the judgments. Third is different publications, and the fourth is probably this was research data. How do you use AI? Something as simple as the simplest use of AI is in e-commerce domain, where on the online space, different sellers are Amazon. They try to map the pricing based on somebody else's pricing on the platform, right? Very simple. But at the same time, in the initial days, this is a matter of development.
This kind of data is actually put up by the courts. Whereas there is nothing here. Another use case which I have been just working on. So I understand that to improve access to justice, Indian legal text is mostly very complicated English. EU was formed, the European Union. They understood that often French laws and someone staying in Spain might have to understand French laws. So in their websites, they have every document that comes out. They have already the documents in 7 or 8 languages.
Today, we unknowingly are using AI for last good number of years. And in the recent past, if you see anyone who's using a mobile technology or using internet is actually feeding in data to the AI, giving in data as well as making best use of it.
Now, in such situation, where does this person go? If we have certain AI enablers, it's not a personal or it's not a easy task, it's an organizational endeavor which has to come in the form of government pushing this particular agenda. But if we have AI-enabled police stations which are accessible over the net and which have the credibility, a person can verify, a person can register grievance in the initial stage.
The human, creativity there. So, if that happens, and again, once the law the role of law is to regulate. But in this era, this disruptive era of what I call is a reverse of AI, that is intelligent automation, that is again the same thing.
So this brings us to the last panel, in-house viewpoint. I'm not going to talk anything, let just the moderator do their job well. So please put your hands together for our esteemed speakers for the next panel.
Artificial intelligence probably since the 1950s. What suddenly happened with the advent of Gen AI? What are the legal and ethical questions that started pouring in, and why is that so?
AI helping us a lot in the work-life balance. During our earlier days, we really have to work manually on those cases. Now the team members which are coming from the various law schools and all, they are finishing up the job faster, purely based on AIs. And appreciable, as since morning various panels are talking, AIs are helpful, AIs are not perfect, AIs we cannot depend on AI, etc.
But what is interesting is the backstory of it, where the first version was passed before ChatGPT came in, and the foundation model suddenly took the world by storm. But once they came in, the EU Act was amended heavily. There were 700 amendments done to the law.
So just to give you an example, first on the key point 1, consent. Particularly Europe, as because in Europe there is one data privacy law, and it's called EU GDPR, General Data Privacy Regulation, and that is applicable across EU, European Union, states, and the regulator is very strict, and we come across the newspaper websites like Meta, Amazon, they are being fined every day. So, insofar as this consent is concerned, now I'm giving a very common example, which happens when we come across that. That is, say, market simulator agency has got a huge pool of data from its pointer for certain studies.
But it is working in a double law. So unless we give our data which is meaningful, it will not throw into it. You have a human is having a context set in the brain. So what I am telling here and what you are hearing may be different. If I take service here right now, what you are taking away from this entire sessions?
I'm really glad to be a part of such a brainstorming session today. And we are from a techno-legal firm, Innovatory, and I'm finally senior legal associate, and Mr. Kunal with me, he is the CEO of the firm. So coming from a legal background, I got to work with so many different law firms. And when I joined Innovatory in the year 2022, I found its way of working drastically different from the other firms that I've worked in.
Thank you.